So when I heard that, I was like, man, I'm going to show this to every team that I'll ever coach again. I thought that was one of the most profound quotes when it comes to getting dealt difficult circumstances. And it's when you die, and we can just translate this to when you fail, when you strike out, when you cause an error, whatever it happens to be. It doesn't mean that you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live. And so how we carry ourselves about is going to be a big part of what we do here at West Baseball. The how we posture ourselves in the game, our body language, how we carry ourselves in practice. These are things that we're going to actively coach, and it's very important to us. It's important enough to us for us to show you a video, to put the quote up there. And I encourage you guys to check out the rest of the speech. It's really great. It's sports-oriented. And it's got a lot of really great lessons. But that's one thing we pulled out of it. So understanding a failed result for a player, it's all about, did I learn from the experience? A real failure is when you don't learn from the experience. So as we take that ground ball that we see coming at us and we don't get it to the glove side eye, well, hey, I needed to move my feet. That's why I booted that ball. Or maybe I'm up to bat and I swung at a 0-2 curveball. It's in the dirt. Next time I see that pitch, I know what to expect. All right? Do I need to change, and how do I change? These are the questions that, as coaches, we help you with the how to change. We often help you with the do I need to change, but it's up to each player to ask themselves after every experience they go through in baseball, did I learn from the experience? And so, really, there's no difference between that and understanding a successful result. It's interesting, though, I think it's harder to get this from success. I think it's harder to grow from success. When you hit a great, you hit a great shot right down the third base line off a pitcher throwing 50 miles an hour that just barely can get the ball over the plate, you're probably not getting any better for that pitcher who's throwing that 80, the low 80s, the elite levels. We always have to ask ourselves, well, did I learn from that experience? Yeah, I learned that particular pitcher I faced was a little overmatched by my bat. Great. Okay? And do I need to change? No, I'm doing everything right. That in that case. But if I have a loop in my swing, if I have a bad habit, if I'm fielding the ball incorrectly, if I'm just getting lucky, those are the things we can start to ask ourselves. Do I need to change, and how do I need to change? That's what coaches are here for. That's what will help your son. That's what will help you guys go through. So there's more to the game than just scoreboard results. We just went over that. And so what we want to do is we want to identify the lessons we're going to learn beyond winning, and it goes right to the values, okay? The mission statement. Fun, sustained effort. This has got to be fun, and we're going to push your players to have fun. We're going to ask you guys to have smiles on your faces, or even more specific, we're going to ask you to play medium. You're going to hear that over and over and over. Play medium. When you make a great play, it's not your time to tell the world how great you are. The world will tell you that if it's a really good play. All right? If you make a horrible play, it's not the time to lose all joy in the game. You're playing a game. You're 14 through 18. Awesome. Okay? Most athletes would give to go through that experience again. They love that time. I hope you guys love yours. And this fun sustains your effort. When I go and I play pickup baseball, basketball, I play in video games, whatever it might be, I have the most fun when I'm going all out. When I'm going full speed, when I am full effort. I have a minimal amount of fun or a less than full amount of fun when my effort is less than full. So we're going to encourage great effort. And that goes to the posturing, that goes to the body language, all that stuff. Other-centered focus. Baseball, a lot of people say, well, baseball, there's so many individual skills you're learning. Yes. Why are we learning those individual skills? Just so we can be elevated. When Sean Duffy hits a home run, the scoreboard doesn't magically change to Duffy 1, South 0. Okay? The scoreboard still says West. So every time we do something great we make a diving catch and make that play, the diving catch, the play we make, is because we're representing West High School. And that's in whatever we really do. So this is an other-centered focus. Aside from the obvious things of we have a play in baseball called a sacrifice. All right? That's so great, right? Giving myself up to move a runner to have a better opportunity to score. These are all things that we're going to be working on quite a bit. The value of the individual. Big one. Big one. People have value. Okay, we think we can all agree on that one. Umpires have value. Okay, and umpires are there regulating a game that we get to play. They allow the game to happen. So that's one specific target that we give a lot of scrutiny to, I know. And we need to value those individuals for helping us. We need to value the players that have never picked up a baseball before and coming out and trying. And we need to value the person that hits 500, not because they're such an amazing batter, but because of who they are as a person. So that's what we're going to talk about, value. Value does not come from the specific skill. So we're going to teach players about fun. Finding fun creates sustains effort, and you have fun through full effort. Went over that. Talking about selflessness again. We'll teach players that an other-centered focus gives us energy, and other-centered focus gives value to our efforts. I went back to saying it's not Duffy 1, Sal 0. A great example I learned was from the Navy SEALs. They did a study on the Navy SEALs about what they go through what they call BUDS training, which is just hell. It sounds horrible. All right, you're carrying logs, running through water, swimming. You don't eat for 2 days. You don't sleep for 3. And you run by a bell, and you can ring a bell, and you're done. You take your helmet off, and helmet had your name on it, and you line it up next to the bell. All the people that quit. And they went back and they asked the Navy SEALs that quit, that rang the bell, what were you thinking about when you were at that point that I couldn't move anymore? I was exhausted. I hadn't slept. I gave everything I had. Okay? Then they went back and asked the Navy SEALs that made it. And they said, what were you thinking about the lowest point? The lowest point. And it was that I'm not going to let the guys around me down. So just judging by that, imagine a guy with a log on his shoulders running through the surf after not eating for 2 days is thinking, one's thinking I'm empty, the other's thinking I want to help everybody around me. And so that selfless focus gives us tangible energy. We see that in sports all the time. But it's something that we have to draw on as we go through our training, because training is going to be tough. And then individuality, the value about each individual. Each person has an equal value, and differences are okay, should be celebrated. Specifically when it comes to skill level, and this is something we have a tough time in baseball. If you've never picked up a baseball before, throwing a baseball is not a natural process. It's not a natural thing. Swinging a bat is not necessarily a natural process. Not to do it the most technically sound way. And it's very easy to make judgment statements. We're not going to do that. Not from players, not from coaches, not anybody. We value the person for trying and their effort and what they bring to the unit. And I want to be clear on that. And then obviously, the people around us. From the fans, to the parents, to the umpires, to the whole crew. So every day at the end of practice, coaches ask themselves these questions. Did the kids have fun and work hard today? If that's, we got thumbs up there. Did the kids display and learn about selflessness today? Did we get a thumbs up or a thumbs down? And did we value all individuals today? Man, I got really mad at Johnny because Johnny couldn't, he couldn't throw it at somebody's chest to save their life. He threw it all over the place, and I just said, forget it. That's a thumbs down. So you have to ask, we ask ourselves this, I ask the players to do this as well. Did you have fun? Did you work hard? Were you selfless, or did you think about yourself all day? And then did you value somebody else? Did you value everybody? Did you devalue somebody because they aren't as good at baseball as you? Or made a bad call? Those are really important. So we all want to pursue winning. Whoops, let me go back. We all want to pursue winning. We all need to pursue winning. It's a contest. I want to win every game. Don't get me wrong. Don't hear this and go, well, coach isn't about winning. I'm the most competitive person that I know. I guarantee. Come to my gym class. You'll see it, all right? I am the most competitive person. I'll beat everybody in whatever I'm doing, all right? It was funny. We did swoop the other day. I don't know if you guys know about swoop, but it's like staff versus students, kind of this contest. And I hate to lose, and so we tied and we lost.
No, you lost.
Anyway. All right, guys, that gets me fired up to think about it. I hate to lose, but there's values bigger than winning. The winning and losing is great. It's awesome, but the scoreboard turns off. It turns off. And then defining our values and teaching you guys or them to our players with intention helps us win. This stuff isn't just made up junk in like mystical coach land. This is tangible. If you work hard for other people, you have more energy. This is real stuff. So hey, play ball. So with that, so here's the scoop. Baseball in Alaska is not baseball in Florida. It's not baseball in Arizona. It's not even baseball in Washington State. Baseball in Alaska is unique, although my buddies right now that coach in Dallas, they haven't gone to school in 3 days because they have a snowstorm. I find that somewhat ironic. But we have to do things a little differently. We have a challenge of gym space. We have a challenge of outdoor facilities. We have a challenge of indoor facilities. So we do things a little differently. We have something happening 5 days a week, but it's not going to dominate the time for the entire day. So we're going to talk about how this is going to work. Monday, we have every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, this is going to be just a standard until we start to get outside every day, and that will be 10 days before our first contest. We'll have practice every day. So April 12th or 11th, however that works on the clock or calendar, we will have practice every day other than Sunday. So we'll practice 6 days a week starting then. But until that time, practices are going to be kind of spread out a little bit, and it's also based on dome time and dome availability and gym time. But every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 to 7 a.m., we'll be throwing long toss into the net in the big gym at 6 a.m. We'll do some band work as well. A lot of people have already been doing that. We're going to continue doing that. We have to do that. Here's why it's so important. We don't necessarily have the facilities of the big gym during the day to be able to throw the long toss, and we need the big net to throw long toss. For those of you who don't know, long toss is throwing long, but doing it in a very specific and intentional way, so we strengthen the arm and we work on good fundamental mechanics. So we've been doing that for a while now. We're going to continue doing that. Monday of spring break, I'll be there. I guess that's the first practice of the year, 6 a.m. Monday. I know that's early. If that's a super big strain on transportation, which I know it is for a lot of people, what I would suggest is between now and over spring break, let's start making friends and create carpool lists for the guys that need to know. Most people are finding ways here. If it's super issue, please talk to me. I'll help you find a way to get your son here. 7th hour lifting, our conditioning, I'm a big believer that physical conditioning starts in the weight room. And I don't know if you've ever been able to see a West High workout before. It might be a little different than what you think a weight room looks like normally. It's fast, it moves quickly, it's based on mobility, flexibility, explosion. It's not a bunch of big guys just sitting on a bench and yelling at each other for like 5 minutes. It's not what we're going to do, okay? But we will be going to 7th hour for our conditioning. So some people, I know 7th hour, some people are like, well, it's a football thing. It's not. We actually have cheerleaders, we have girls soccer players, we have volleyball players, we have everybody in that class. Some of you are already in that class. If you have my cross-training class during the day, you have study hall for that time. That is your time to have, okay? So if you have my class during the day, going into next year, I would encourage everybody to take cross-training. I think it's the best thing you can do. I mean, obviously I teach it, so I'm self-promoting a little bit here. Yeah, I know, job security. You gotta be there. If I was a basketball player, I'd be there. There's 2 reasons why. Well, there's one, it's safety. It's absolutely safety. The Duke girls basketball team last year had 5 ACLs. 5. That's crazy. What we're finding, and they're calling it like the epidemic of ACLs. I know we have one in the room, or Hawkins not here, but Hawkins one of ours, and we lost 2 in football this year. We're finding that kids that aren't properly lifting for mobility and doing everything they can for their joints are putting themselves in danger of ACL injury. Baseball, it's a repetitive use thing. We need to build up our strength using bands, lightweight resistance, and specific baseball, we're calling it prehab, to be ready to throw. It's 100% safety. So, yes, 7th hour is part of baseball practice. 2 to 3 on Mondays, and Fridays 2 to 3:30 on Tuesdays, Thursdays. So it's 4 days a week is lifting, and we have study hall options, and we have tutors for you. So if Thursday you come up, and you're like, man, I'm swamped, way behind, talk to me on Thursday. That's the day you can go down and work with our tutors in room 13. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And then Monday is our first practice, 4:30 to 6:30, which is going to be a kind of standard practice time. That's Monday. Tuesday, no breakfast club, just 7th hour lifting, and then straight to practice. 4:30, 6:30. Wednesday, just breakfast club throwing. That's it. Come, throw your long toss. That's it. Nothing after school. So homework, all that stuff. We have time, obviously, between 7th hour and practice. But we also have all day Wednesday. And then Thursday is just 7th hour lifting with a batting practice afterwards. This will be soft toss off tees. So Wednesday we throw, Thursday there is no throwing. We are off the arms. We throw for 3 days, we're off the arms. Yes, sir.
Practice over spring break?
No practice over spring break. This starts Monday the 16th. Monday the 16th. Friday, back to the same schedule as Monday. It's a long day. Breakfast club 6 to 7, 7th hour for an hour, and then practice for 2 hours. I know that's a lot, but it's the way it has to be spaced out due to resources. And like I said, it goes by pretty fast. For the guys that have been coming in the morning, it's quick. We're in there, we're going bands, we're throwing, and all of a sudden the bell's ringing, we have to go to school. So it's going by very fast. 7th hour goes by very fast, and practice, and then you'll have that hour and a half. There are facilities to do homework, to use computers, and to be supervised in between. So after lifting's done, we have tutors. Really from like 3:30, the tutor will be around, tutors, and then I'm around between that time as well. So there will be time to spend in the books, and this is where we're going to talk with the parents about this, and I want the guys to hear this too. It's where it's super important that we start to own our academics. This is our academics. We have time. Coach Davis might not be sitting over you watching you with your books, but you have to get this work done. We know this. We're student athletes. We're doing a little extra. And then lastly, Saturdays 8 to 11, and then you have the rest of the day off. And we'll see about 8 to fully 11. It might end up more like 10:30.